Well, welcome back to Vape Talk Drive. I'm back with a video. It's been a while. Discovering some stuff about this RTA I bought. But with what just happened, kind of makes sense. So I had this profile RTA laying down in my cup holder thing over here, and it leaked out a little bit. Nothing too crazy. There's still juice in it, like a lot. It's actually full, so just a little seeped out. But when you turn something upside down, that's an RTA. I'm imagining they all do that, but so, anywho, now I had a friend recommend this, and so I saved a little money aside and ended up buying this thing. That's 55 watts. So anyway, so all the reviewers are like, yeah, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. I saw Jay Hayes didn't like it, but he also didn't like the fact that it was mesh. Close that up a little bit. He didn't like the fact that it was mesh because of dry hits and worry about setting it on fire or whatever the freaking hell. But I've had mine 2 days now, and I've had some problems, mostly on the first day, and I'm gonna say definitively it was all user error. Just learning the tank, not being too experienced with RTAs. I've only had one other RTA that was given to me. Did not like it, gave it away to a different friend there, and they like it, they could figure it out, but it was the Griffin 25 Plus. Could never find anything about it online to how to wick it properly for it not to leak. It only leaks like a major leak once on me. So where I was like, fuck, I've just lost like, and it is a big tank, so I probably lost like 5-6 mils of juice in my pocket. Just marinated my mod. It was great. So anyway, so day one, I'm not paying attention. I'm just doing stuff, around the house, cleaning up and stuff. And going outside every so often I can get a quick break. And all of a sudden it was pretty burnt dry head. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This thing's brand new. So I looked, and my tank reservoir was completely empty. So I'm like, okay, so one on me. So then I took it apart to see how much damage I did to the mesh inside, and I burned a little spot on it. So I kept trying to see if it was going to get any better, and I had mixed hits. Some were good, some were freaking awful. I guess it's just how it heated up on that burnt spot. So took everything apart to do that. Pop it all back together, fill it up. It leaks like a bitch. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, really? Right out the airflow, actually. Now, it wasn't like the entire tank poured out, but it was enough where it was a bitch to clean up. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. So clean it up, rinse it all off, put it all back together, and it's still like spotty leaking. Spotty. I'm like, cool. So that was lesson one. So then the next day, which would have been yesterday morning, before work, I'm like, well, I'm gonna just tear this thing apart quick, because I know I can put a build in there, because it's mesh, in like 5 minutes or less. Plus, Wotofo, who makes the profile, they give you cotton and mesh included in the box, so you're ready right outside the box to just build, wick, and go. So Their cotton comes like tapered, so it has like a little round, well, looks like a shoelace almost, that you can stick through your build, pull it through the other side, and clip it, which is very convenient if you're in a hurry. So you don't have to like measure it out and then, you know, rip it and then do all this other shit. So does Firebolt too. I've never had Firebolt, but I've only heard good things. I will be seeking out some Firebolt cotton here eventually, probably just for this, maybe my RDAs. So, lesson 2, I learned. When you glow it, now the only other mesh I've ever had was a mesh by Vandy Vape RDA. That thing sucked. Like it was either leaking or it was dry hitting, and you had some happy medium sometimes. So I got rid of that thing too, actually. But excuse me, with this, I put the build in, put the cotton in, put in one of my favorite flavors. I'm gonna cheap plug this, even though I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not affiliated with them. Primus Prickly Pear. It's a cactus pear, which I never actually eaten the real fruit of cactus pear, and watermelon, and apparently a hint of dragon fruit according to the description on the back. And it's just amazing. So juice it up, fill it up, no leaking. You know, a little bit of juice on the O-ring for the deck portion that goes to the airflow that I left, that, you know, slowly seeped out a little bit by a little bit, you know, whatever. Yeah, no, after that, my little tip incident, it's perfectly fine. I just had to wipe it off. But anyway, so dry burning. So I go to dry burn it, and the guy I bought it from was like, do it really low, and you'll be good. So I know if this was better than the Vandy Vape mesh because it looks better. So I had it at 10 watts and just held the button down until the whole thing turned red. So I'm like, okay, we'll be good. And go to wick it, and I look, and there is a dent in it. So essentially I melted it, but how low I had the wattage, I did not melt it to where it actually fell apart. It like failed and all the way through. It just kind of melted it to where it just created a little hump. So like, screw it. So they give you 2 pieces of mesh. So I bend it, because they give you a bending tool too. I bent it, put it in the 2 slots, screwed it down, put the Wotofo cotton through, clipped it the way Rib Trippers says it should be done, because the shop I went to said it should be better at a different angle than 45, and everything I've ever saw was 45, and how this guy measured it that told me how to do the first build was pretty much dead wrong. So not to advertise another YouTuber, but Rib Trippers, if you ever want to get this, has a build and wick video that is very helpful. It made my tank a success. I've had this now a full day at work plus a full day at home, or full time at home, whatever, and like, it's working perfectly fine for me. Basically, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but the 2 things I can tell you is keep it wet, which is going to be interesting when I go to switch flavors or something, how I'm going to do this, because you can't vape it all the way down to nothing like you would do, you know, an RDA and some sub-ohm regular coils. You can kind of just keep, like Falcon coils, you can kind of keep going down on the juice well to almost nothing before you change it. This one, you gotta have like a little bit of juice still probably in there, so it'll make it a little bit harder to take apart without making a big mess. But you know, you should be able to get away with just the bottom portion of the tank kind of being coated. And trying to not, like, when I did take it apart, it did have juice in it. I did not spill the juice, and it did not leak out of any of the other things besides the airflow. But I digress. But from what I've seen online, mesh, I think you can get a 10-pack for $10 on certain websites of the Next Mesh, which is part of the reason why this is called Unity. The people who made Next Mesh, OFRF, they actually collaborated with, sorry, I'm just trying to turn my air on. They collaborated with Wotofo, like 3 other companies to make this. I think that's why it's called the Unity. But at 55 watts, you put out decent sized clouds, dense, thick smoke. You can take some pretty good long drags off of it. And the flavor is up there with the Falcon. Like, I know that's it's a hell of a claim, but having both, and Falcon being touted as the best flavor, you consider you got mesh, and the mesh is done well. The airflow on this is done well, where it basically is hitting that mesh directly on, and if you wick it up right, you have constant saturation, so it's gonna keep it wet, so you don't have to really worry about dry hits. Like, if you wick it right, should be no problems. Definitely highly recommend this. Probably my tanks that take disposable coils, I guess they're all really disposable, but you know, pre-made coils, will probably be retired for a while, and probably focus on this along with some RDAs. You figure this, you get cotton for like dirt cheap. The only thing that's going to cost much to run this is going to be your mesh. But if, you know, same thing with rib trippers, back to him with the building and the wicking. To pulse this, he does it at 15 watts, but you basically tap the button, it'll, you know, you see it glow quick, let go, do it again one time, that's it. Versus me holding the freaking button down. So now that I have the knowledge from rib trippers, which I really hate to say, but excuse me, he knows his shit. That's the only thing I can say. You know, like, he does seem to review everything. Oh, I love this, I love this. The only drawback is this, you know. So it's either he gets paid to like everything, or he just only reviews stuff he likes. And, you know, I haven't seen him review really bad devices. Like, Jay Hayes reviews some bad devices just for entertainment, to break them and stuff, which I love Jay Hayes' videos. I watch him all the time. But he shit on this because of the mesh. Now, he has his own issues with mesh. I've had my own issues with mesh. Mind you, these strips come pre-cut, so essentially all you really need to do is bend it and then slide it in, and that's it. So with the Vandy Vape, you actually had to measure it out, cut it, bend it with your finger, like over your finger essentially, and then hope for the best. So unless you know, use the strips that they currently had, but the strips that they had were actually like test strips that were in the packaging. When you went to go buy strips, it was like 5 feet, and you had to cut your own. But yeah, no, this shit's on Vandy Vape. Probably their mesh RTA too. It really does. With the knowledge that I have now, I'm sure I can get a build / you know, a pre-made mesh strip to last me a couple weeks or more. Just taking care of it and not doing anything stupid. So definitely highly recommend it. They're mostly on sale for $40 online. I saw the shop I bought it from in my town is competitive with online for some of their stuff, and their juice and their tanks are pretty spot on to online. It's the mods that they kind of have to upcharge, it seems like. With that said, in the package you get literally everything to start off with. You even get an extender piece for your chimney that is relative to the glass, so you get a thicker glass or taller glass that extends this tank out to 5 mils. This is only a 3 mil tank right now. It's a little pain in the butt to have to fill constantly to keep it wet, but that's my choice because I haven't wanted to do the 5 mil extension yet. But whenever I get bored or I have to do some work on this to re-wick it, clean it up, put the extender piece in, put the extended glass in, bada bing bada boom. Like butter. But yep, so I vaped on this all day yesterday and all day at home, so not 2 full days of experience, but a full work day with breaks, full night home, and going in now and working fine. So, but before I go, the 2 big things are keep it wet, do not let this tank go dry, and pulse it at like 10 to 15 watts. Do not hold the button down, or you will fuck up your mesh, just to be blunt. So with that said, I'm gonna keep on trucking and vaping. Believe the hype on this, so believe it.